but in the course of doing so, and especially while delivering a series of workshops for women based on his 2015 bestseller, Triggers, he came to recognize that some of the more aggressive and self-centered behaviors he identifies as problematic in What Got You Here are less likely to be stumbling blocks for successful women than they are for men. For example, instead of claiming credit they don't deserve, women are often reluctant to claim their own achievements. Instead of always needing to be right, women are more likely to be hobbled by the desire to please or the need to be perfect. Instead of refusing to express regret, women often can't stop apologizing, even for things that are not their fault. Everyone has self-limiting behaviors, for the simple reason that we are all human. But although men and women do sometimes share the same undermining habits, they frequently do not. Women often face very different challenges as they seek to advance in their careers and operate on a bigger playing field, so it makes sense that women would adapt their behavior in different ways. And women are often rewarded differently, as will be shown in the next chapter. These differences shape their expectations of what behaviors will be effective. Given that Marshall's coaching base is typically about 80% male, it's not surprising that the original habits in What Got You Here would be those that most often hold back high-performing men. Marshall didn't view these behaviors as particularly male when he wrote the book, but rather as common forms of self-sabotage that could be corrected using the insights and practices he'd developed as a coach. Yet the more he worked with women, the more Marshall saw that they could benefit from a similar approach that addressed different behaviors. Enter Sally. Sally has been working with, writing about, and researching women leaders since the publication of The Female Advantage, Women's Ways of Leadership in 1990. Because it was the first book to focus on what women had to contribute to organizations, rather than how they needed to change and adapt, companies began asking her to develop and deliver women's leadership programs almost from the start. As a result, Sally has spent nearly 3 decades helping remarkable women around the world grow their leadership skills and consulting with executive teams seeking to retain talented women. She has worked with some of the most successful women leaders in the world. This has given her both up-close exposure to the challenges women face, as well as plenty of opportunities to observe what gets in their way. The two of them knew each other well from the Learning Network, a small group for top leadership professionals that Marshall had started in 1996. But neither of them had considered collaborating on a book about behaviors that hold women back until that email with the tagline, "Crazy Idea." Because of their complementary experiences and long-standing friendship, they felt confident that by combining forces, they could provide specific, helpful, and targeted guidance for women seeking to advance to the next stage in their careers and heighten their ability to have a positive impact on their organizations, their communities, and on the world. Sally viewed the collaboration as a chance to help women address stumbling blocks that had held them back for decades. And Marshall saw a whole new world of habits that the coaching insights and practices he'd been honing for 30 years could help address. They had also each had aha moments that confirmed their belief that women could benefit from a book on behaviors that get in their way as they seek to rise. These personal experiences have made them passionate about the need for this book and convinced them of its potential value. Marshall's aha came while coaching the legendary leader Frances Hesselbein, who had coincidentally been extensively profiled in Sally's bestseller, The Female Advantage. Frances will be mentioned quite a bit in this book. During her long tenure as CEO of the Girl Scouts of the USA, Frances had gained international attention when no less an expert than Peter Drucker, the founder of modern management, wrote that she was possibly the finest leader he'd ever met and suggested she be considered to head up General Motors. Upon retiring from the Girl Scouts,